Bitcoin is super bullish, guys. I think that Bitcoin can easily pump to $120,000 in a matter of days, as long as we hold a certain support that I think is very, very critical. If we hold, I can think that Bitcoin and all the crypto market is gonna be very, very bullish, I think, in the next days and weeks. So let's get right into the TA. I'm also gonna mention an important trade that I'm gonna talk about for Bitcoin, a small scalp long on Bitcoin, and why I think Bitcoin right now has made something different that we haven't been into, I think, for a whole month. So lastly or firstly, let's recap what happened on Bitcoin. I made it very, very clear, guys, that a week ago or 2 weeks ago, at the beginning of September, and even prior to that, I think at the end of August, I made it very, very clear that once Bitcoin has entered our green zone, I told you guys that this is a buy only zone on Bitcoin. I clearly said that Bitcoin is literally bouncing from this anchored view up that is still holding intact the uptrend of Bitcoin since the start of April. And I told you also that this green zone has a high liquidity amount of volume on Bitcoin, and literally makes zero sense to be looking to short or sell Bitcoin at this level. And the only thing that you should be looking at into this area is only longs. And I've also mentioned one more thing, that Bitcoin is, yes, bullish, it's at support. However, what we need to see is a reclaim of certain things that we actually have done, I think, in the past 24 hours. If I pull the replay button out, as you can see here is the current price action on Bitcoin. Now, if you want to ask me why I think Bitcoin is super bullish and why I think Bitcoin can as easily pump to $120,000 at least, basically, I've mentioned a couple of ideas to you guys. Basically, using the same anchored view up tool, as you can see, if I take the same tool I've put from the uptrend of April, instead putting it onto the top of the all-time high on Bitcoin, I think on the 14th of August, as you can see, we can clearly see that we had this downtrend anchored view up that we finally have broken out of. As you can see, yesterday we broke $113,200, and this is a sign of us breaking the whole downtrend on Bitcoin. And secondly, as you can see, not only did we break out of the anchored view up, as you can see, but we also have broken out of the volume profile pull that I've made it very, very clear that we need to actually break out of before being super bullish. As you can see, if we use the volume profile from the beginning of the horizontal parallel movement till the current price action, we can clearly see that we finally have broken out of the value area low, the blue line at the bottom of the volume profile. So yes, guys, right now we've broken out of finally this important resistance. Not only we've broken out of the downtrend from the all-time high, but we are right now into this volume profile back again. Once again, since we finally lost it at, I think, the 25th of August, we have now reclaimed it. It was very, very clearly a super important area to reclaim. It was resistance, and now it is finally support. So technically, as long as Bitcoin holds $113,000, I believe that Bitcoin can easily pump to the uptrend or pump to the up of the value area high. As you can see, up to the $120,000 mark, as you can see, very, very easily. So I'm super bullish, and I think this area, as long as Bitcoin is holding the support, is very, very important, guys, that you never forget about holding the support, because Bitcoin likes to do fake outs, likes to liquidate everybody. So technically, if we lose I think 112.8, then I could actually change my outlook. However, if we keep this as support, hold 112.8 to 113.1, if we hold these, I think we can easily pump to 120,000, and this, I think, would be the best opportunity, not only to be buying and looking for longs on Bitcoin. Being super bullish on Bitcoin means that we can actually be super bullish on multiple coins. I've got Solana I'm bullish on, I've got XRP, Litecoin, and also Cardano. These are my 4 favorite altcoins, to be honest. Now, let me mention a small scalp long trade based on the idea of us holding the support. As you can see, if I go to the smaller time frame, I think on the 15-minute time frame, we can clearly see that we have left actually some liquidity not taken on Bitcoin under, I think, 113.3 and 113.1. So technically, I don't think buying Bitcoin as we've broken out of the resistance makes sense, to be honest, but because I don't like to be trading breakouts. However, if on the lower time frame, on the 5-minute time frame, we can see Bitcoin go back under, hit the resistance as support. As I've mentioned, this was actually an important resistance line that we've now broken out of and made it into support. So technically, I'm super bullish. However, we can actually look for a small scalp long if we make a fake out, hit the liquidity run, and then reclaim 113. This could actually be the only long given for today, or actually tomorrow, because I don't think that Bitcoin would offer any longs before pumping super hard. Now remember guys that before ending off this video, we must hold $113,000. My prediction, my outlook for Bitcoin being bullish depends on 113 holding. If this holds, I think we're gonna have a super amazing next week on Bitcoin and the whole crypto market up to I think $120,000. Thanks for watching guys.